Hello YouTube, Canadian Edge here, and we are going to do a knife review today. And the knife we have on the table today, it is the Civivi Qubit. And I wasn't sure if it was Qubit, how you pronounced it, but I think popular opinion is it's Qubit. It makes more sense to me, so that's what I'm going to call it. This is the Civivi Qubit. And I gotta say, I did not think I was gonna like this knife as much as I do. I have carried this knife a lot and really enjoy it. So let's get into it, see what this knife has to offer and why I enjoy it. It has a blade length of 2.98 inches. Open it is 7.19 inches and closed it is 4.21 inches. The steel on this, it is a Sandvik 14C28N with a drop point blade. And the weight of this, it is 2.82 ounces. And so I like the 14C28N. It's easy to sharpen, but it holds an edge for a relatively long time. And it's been a good steel, especially on some of the less expensive knives. So the handle on this, it is aluminum, which I'll talk more about later. The pocket clip on this, it is a reversible right hand, left hand tip up carry. So lefties, this is the knife that you can carry comfortably as well. So that does make it ambidextrous as well, which is nice. Always good to have an ambidextrous knife. It is a button lock knife, which I find easy for me to use, and I enjoy the button lock knives. It has the dual thumb studs for opening, or you can flick it out using the button lock, or just flick it with the, I don't know if you can do reverse flick. You probably can. I can't on here, but almost. But yeah, there are guys that will be able to do the reverse flick if you're interested in doing that. It does have as well, it has jimping on the back of the blade, which I like. Gives you that extra little grip. It is a cage ball bearing in the pivot, which makes it nice and smooth, and it is definitely nice and smooth. And it has no lanyard hole, but you could attach a lanyard, a thin one, in there if you wanted to. Between the spacers, there's another spacer at the back there that would allow you to attach a lanyard, and it's out of the way of the blade, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. It does have a finger choil to some degree as well there, give you a little different grip on the knife. And it does have a bottle opener on it, which may or may not be useful to you. To me, it's not that useful. I don't open a lot of bottles, but there are people who do, so they might find that a very handy addition to this knife. And it is centered. Make it so you can kind of see that. You can't really see it. But it is centered, and there is no blade play. Up or down, left or right, it sits in there nice and solid, which is great. Size comparison. Yeah, it's not a super big knife. 7 inches, it's a decent sized knife, but you can see that the bug out is basically the same. The Ontario Rat 2, pretty much the same size, so it's a mid-sized knife. We'll compare it with some of the other bigger knives. We got the Civivi Qubit, which is a great knife, by the way, and the Saxi, and you can see they are quite a bit bigger than this one. So it is a medium-sized knife, and that's been one of the reasons I have enjoyed it too. But yeah, I had heard a lot of people talking about it and said it was a really nice knife, and so I thought I would check it out. Aesthetically, I mean, there's no real wow factor to it. Very generic handle, very basic handle, and kind of a leaf-shaped blade, which, you know, doesn't exactly scream wow, but it's a good-looking knife, decent-looking. Yeah, I don't mind the aesthetics of the knife. It works, what they've done with it. The ergonomics are very nice. It feels great in the hand, good comfortable grip on it, and you can use the choil and get different holds on it, so makes it a little more controlled for fine slicing, which is nice. And I really like the pivot on it, because out of the box, this thing, it opened great. Open and close, no problems. I really liked it. I know some of the knives that I do have with button lock, you have to press the button way down to get it to disengage. This one, not so much. It disengages with minimal push, so that's nice. So I appreciate the button lock on it. And one of the things that really excites me is that the pocket clip. Yes, thank you, Civivi. You made that flush. The screws are flush, so less wear and tear on the pocket, which is always nice. I appreciate that. But one of the things that impressed me the most about this was, oh, we forgot to do it even, is a sharpness test. This bad boy, holy man, I couldn't believe how sharp this thing was. I had to cut down some boxes, and I've cut a lot of cardboard since I got this the last couple weeks. And this thing cut through cardboard. I should have had a piece of cardboard to show you. But if you have one, I suggest trying it. So it cuts through cardboard like a dream. It's extremely sharp blade on this thing. Everybody that I have handed this to that has used it for some reason, and you can see it goes through the zip tie without much effort. Everybody that I've handed it to that have used it to open a package or whatever, it goes, wow, is that thing sharp? So Civivi, you did a good job sharpening the blade on this one. Cuts through the fake paracord without any trouble at all. I don't think I made, yeah. I was going to see if I could double cut that, but it cuts through that twine without too much effort. I don't know if I can double cut it. Maybe. We'll see. Either way, it still cuts through there. So, yes, if you own a Qubit, let me know how you found the sharpness, because I was very impressed with how sharp the blade is on this thing. So, yes. So I have been carrying this for a lot, carrying it a lot the last couple weeks. The only real complaint I have about it is the aluminum handles. And I know right now the aluminum handles are kind of the rage. Everybody likes the aluminum handles, but they are slippery. I find them really slippery, especially when you're flicking open with the thumb studs. It's a little better for me with the flipper. I don't slip as much, but I have to be careful with the thumb studs that I don't flick this thing right out of my hand. But yeah, that's my only complaint on this knife is the slippery handles. So Civivi, if you're making more of these, maybe you could texture the handles up a little bit and make them a little less slippery. But the jimping does definitely help. The choil helps, gives you that extra grip. So I'm not going to complain that much because, like I say, I really enjoyed carrying this knife. And I forget the exact price point of these things. I think they're about 80, I want to say around $90 Canadian. And but well worth it. I've been very happy with this and would highly recommend it as an EDC. If you've got a little more money in your budget and you can afford to spend around $100 for a knife, this might be one you want to look at, especially if you like the mid-size knives. Because yeah, this works great. Great edge on it. We'll have to see how long it lasts before I have to sharpen it, but so far very happy with it. And the pivot is smooth. Gotta love having a smooth pivot. It's always nice having a knife that you can open with as little effort as possible, and flicks out there quite easily and closes, as you can see, without any issues. So yes, I would highly recommend this as an everyday carry for anybody looking for a mid-sized knife. And it's proven to be a good knife, and I will be carrying this more, I know, for sure, in the days to come. But that is the Civivi Qubit. Check them out. They are readily available in a lot of the knife stores, especially the ones that sell Civivi. So I have other reviews coming up, some unboxings coming up in the future here. Check those out. Check out the videos that are already up. Leave me a like, hit the subscribe, and leave me a comment. Love to hear from you guys. And we'll do this all again. But until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.